Devin Haney finally admits that Shakur Stevenson's stock has not risen, but it's dropped. That's what I want to talk about in this video. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Devin Haney did a media day, and he spoke. He said that Shakur Stevenson, basically, I'm just paraphrasing, but basically his performance was trash versus Edwin De Los Santos, his very last fight. He says that Shakur looked like ish in that particular fight, and his stock has definitely dropped. And he says, I already offered Shakur 75-25 split since I was undisputed in the division at lightweight. And basically he should have taken that, because instead not taking it, you perform versus Edwin De Los Santos. And instead of it making the fight bigger, he said the fight still can happen, but you made the fight worse at the current moment given that performance. And I agree with Devin Haney. Devin Haney is telling you what I've said in several videos rating Shakur's performance. Boxing has and is always a what have you done for me lately type of sport. And I'm sure most sports are like that. Nobody really cares about who won the World Series in 2001, right? That's like people, it reminds me of people who used to be dope boys or slang or whatever, and they had money and they were loaded, and then they caught a Fed case and went down for 20 years, and then they come out talking about what they had in the 90s. But those times are gone. You don't have it now. Like, nobody, I don't care about what you had. Tell me what you have. Because usually it's like females that post throwback Thursday pictures when they was the prom queen. Usually they keep doing that because their current pictures, they let themselves go, or, you know, had kids and don't look the same, or, you know, bags under their eyes and all that type of stuff. They don't want to post no current photos, so they use and resort to the past. And I feel like if you're stuck in the past, it's usually because you're not doing it in the current. That's just my, you know, call me crazy. That's just my personal belief. So I focus on the current and the future, you know, the present day. Like, I'm not going to tell you about predictions that I got right when I first started my channel, or how I got Mayweather Pacquiao, the biggest fight of this generation, the highest grossing fight. That's old news. That happened in 2015, almost 10 years ago, right? We're entering 2024. So I don't really care about that. It is what it is. It's part of my history, and we move on. So Shakur Stevenson, he's being graded on his most recent work. And when you're an elite fighter, or thought to be an elite fighter, that's just and will be the case. That's always how it's been. You look at Errol Spence Jr. Errol Spence Jr. did all this unifying, did all the heavy lifting, but on one fateful night in July, Terrence Crawford beats him, drops him 3 times, whoops him, and we haven't really heard much from Errol Spence Jr. because he's probably laying low. He lost his title, and he's probably trying to regroup and recuperate and just rest and relax. But you listen to the criticism, people are grading him based on that. In fact, fellow Texan Jermell Charlo, same deal. Jermell Charlo has had an amazing run at 154 pounds. He looked very good in rematches, stopped the guys that gave him tough fights, Tony Harrison, Brian Castano, and he did all these things. Great names that he's fought, knocked out Erickson Lubin in 1 round, but versus Canelo, he bit off more than he can chew, and he fought a big Canelo, moved up 14 pounds, thought he could do something with him, and then he couldn't. So that's what people, that's the taste that they have in their mouth, pause, with Jermell Charlo. They're not talking about all the wonderful things he did at 154. They're talking about his very last outing fighting Canelo, and it was a stinker. The fight didn't really live up to any expectations, and he underperformed from what people thought he might be able to do. People felt like he wasn't willing to go out on his shield. Shakur or anybody else is no different. I mean, in fact, the fight tonight, Demetrius Boo Boo Andrade and David Benavidez. If Benavidez were to lose, and he loses bad, you know, because it's not just about losing or winning. because some guys we know in boxing, they win, but for real, they didn't win. Or in boxing, guys sometimes quote unquote lose, but they shouldn't have lost. We know that. Judges' scorecards be out of whack and things like that. Sometimes it's a premature stoppage like Carl Froch and George Groves. So we know these things transpire. So it's not just winning and losing, it's how you acquit yourself. So Shakur in victory, I think his persona, based on all the things he said, it has taken a dip. And that's what Devin Haney is saying. So he clearly agrees. And it's not just that you won, it's how you won a vacant title. You won in really a boring fashion, very few punches. It wasn't scintillating, and people are raving about your defense. Maybe, I guess maybe that's the best takeaway, is how you're able to control distance and take away the play from Edwin De Los Santos to keep yourself, you know, risk-free. But in doing that, it also made for a lackluster and subpar performance, because there were openings. There were moments where De Los Santos was swinging wildly and missing, and he was such a threat that it looked like you were a bit shook to engage and overcommit to anything and make him pay. And that's what I don't think Shakur Stevenson is understanding. Shakur took to his social media, and he's been doing that, and he's kind of defending the performance, but you're not going to change the mind of the public. Some people went back and rewatched the fight, and it just wasn't your best night. It wasn't your best work. And like I said, it's eerily similar to the African you fought, Nakathila. You fought Nakathila in a similar tone and fashion. Guys who are dangerous punchers that have a bit of brains or awkwardness to them. Shakur fights almost in a different way. And I understand supreme boxers and masterclass boxing. And I understand the concept of the bull and the matador. But the bull and the matador doesn't have to look like that. We've seen the bull versus the matador in Sugar Ray Leonard versus Roberto Hands of Stone Duran, the second fight. And Sugar Ray Leonard was doing bolo punches, and he looked like he was in control and very highly confident. And this is a guy that beat him in the first fight. So the best way to rectify this for Shakur and bring his stock back up, in my opinion, not talk about Devin Haney, not talk about Tank, but rematch this dude. You keep saying you're the one-hand bandit and you beat him easy. People don't feel like it was your best night. Run it back with Edwin De Los Santos. Show us he's no danger to a 100% healthy Shakur Stevenson or whatever you're talking about, and then take it from there and resume your career. But if you don't, this will kind of be an asterisk by it, and it'll look like others who have said, oh, this wasn't my best night. Like Lomachenko said, oh, my shoulder hurt versus Teofimo, but then he never rematched Teofimo. Teofimo said his esophagus blew up versus George Kambosos, but you didn't do an immediate rematch with George Kambosos. So that doesn't really make sense from a pugilist standpoint. If you had an off night and is highly criticized, or you lost, or whatever the case is, like Jermell Charlo versus Tony Harrison when he lost, or when it was disputed in the fight with Castano, he did an immediate run back in a rematch. So did Andre Ward Kovalev. So did Floyd Mayweather versus Chino Maidana, Ole Chino, and also Castillo. So I think that's the best way, not typing, not texting, not trying to win fans over or prove that your greatness. Rematch the man. But let me know if you agree. Devin Haney says Shakur's stock has fallen. Best in the business in a month. Introducing Super Thanks right here on the official Boxingego YouTube. Super Thanks allows you, the viewers, to show a little bit of extra gratitude, which enables me as a full-time content creator to push out the content you need in the world of boxing. Underneath all the videos, you will see a heart with the $sign in it. You can enter any amount that you find suitable as a super thanks. A brand new, interactive, and colorful way to get your comments highlighted and noticed by not only myself, but other people on the YouTube platform. Super thanks, a unique and cool way to show and applaud us full-time content creators. Hopefully you guys enjoy the content. Super thanks. The future is now. The Hibernation 5s by Kenichi Bear. hybrid gaming and lifestyle headphones. Out of the box, you can connect to any console or PC, Bluetooth ready, with a low latency USB adapter, color RGB, and extreme bass mode. The Hibernation 5s adjust to you. Whether you need a gaming, travel, gym, or lifestyle headphones, the Hibernations got you covered. The new Hibernation 5s, link in the description, customize the way you hear the world. Welcome to the nation. Are you tired of your YouTube videos not getting any views? Well, consider TubeBuddy. I've used TubeBuddy for years to scale up my YouTube channel. Now we're sitting over 200,000 subscribers. TubeBuddy is a browser extension that offers a ton of built-in productivity and time-saving services to take your channel to the next level. Use my link in the description to get started with TubeBuddy and level up your channel faster. We working.